Never ever drive under the influence of drugs. A message from the Road Safety Authority. Visit rsa.ie.
On your radio, on the Go Loud player, and on your smart speaker. Play 98 FM. 98.
It's 6 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Ellen Butler. Iran's supreme leader warns the punishment continues against Israel with new missile strikes taking place overnight. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has made his first statement since America bombed 3 nuclear facilities in Iran. On X, he wrote, "The Zionist enemy has made a grave mistake." Speaking at an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council last night, Iran's ambassador Amir Saeed Iravani says all American allegations against Iran are unfounded with no legal basis and are politically motivated.
America has once more recklessly chosen to sacrifice its own security merely to safeguard Netanyahu. Once again, the world has witnessed the blatant corruption of the US political system and its leaders.
The Taoiseach is today attending a meeting of foreign affairs ministers in Brussels to discuss the fallout from US airstrikes on Iran. Simon Harris says he'll urge the EU to use all channels to call for de-escalation and for Iran to return to talks. He'll also update ministers on his phone call yesterday with Iran's deputy foreign minister, who he says was very angry at the actions of the US and Israel, calling them aggressors.
He did say to me that it was the view of Iran that the aggressors would have to learn lessons and pay a price. And of course I articulated in the strongest possible terms that Ireland and the European Union doesn't want to see that. We want to see people step back from the brink and engage in dialogue.
While 15 Irish citizens have been successfully evacuated from Israel, the group crossed the border yesterday and are expected back in Ireland in the coming days. Taoiseach Simon Harris has thanked the Austrian government for helping with the operation and embassy teams in Tel Aviv, Dublin and across the Middle East. The Taoiseach says the dramatic escalation over Iran must not shift attention from the ongoing situation in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced yesterday the IDF had recovered the remains of 3 hostages being held in Gaza, while 4 people were killed in an airstrike on a refugee camp and 22 injured while waiting for aid. Micheál Martin says the civilian population there is facing an increasingly dire situation.
It's extremely important that we don't lose sight of Gaza in the middle of this, because what is happening in Gaza is catastrophic for the civilian population of Gaza. It is unconscionable. The numbers of children malnourished who are dying from malnutrition, who are being killed on a daily basis, and the number of innocent civilians also who are being killed is absolutely unacceptable, and that slaughter must stop.
The average cost of a house is now 40% higher than at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. The latest Daft.ie house price report shows costs across the country are 12.3% higher than a year ago. The typical cost of a home nationwide in the second quarter of this year was almost €358,000. Report author, economist Ronan Lyons says prices just keep rising.
What we're seeing in the latest figures from the housing market is an increase in inflation. In other words, prices are going up, and they're going up at a faster rate than at any point over the last 10 years. Over 12% higher than this time last year nationwide, and that average is reasonably consistent when you look at different parts of the country. The increase, for example, in Dublin is more or less the same as on average for elsewhere.
The public inquiry into the Omagh bombing is to hear opening statements this morning. It's investigating whether the 1998 Real IRA bombing in the County Tyrone town could have been prevented. 29 people died, including the mother of unborn twins. While a man is due in court in the north, charged in connection with an attack on the Belfast Islamic Centre on Friday night. The building was evacuated while bomb disposal officers made safe a viable explosive device which was thrown through a window during evening prayers. A 34-year-old man is due before Belfast Magistrates Court today, charged with a number of offences, including attempted arson with intent to endanger life. And that is your news update at 4 minutes past 6.
Dublin's 98 FM.